The 2023 Nissan X-Trail is Drive's best medium SUV for 2023. So what makes this one so special, you ask? Well, this one here is an e-Power hybrid. It's Nissan's first attempt at building a hybridized medium SUV. Does Nissan's electrification and hybrid technology make an already good car even better? Well, that's what we're going to go find out today. So let's jump behind the wheel and take a look. The 2023 Nissan X-Trail Hybrid comes in two forms in Australia, TI and TIL. Our test car is the cheaper of the two, which is a Nissan X-Trail TI model, which starts from $54,190 before on-roads and costs. That makes it around $4,190 more expensive than a regular non-hybrid version of the exact same car. Standard kit for your money includes Nissan's e-Force four-wheel drive system that includes two electric motors, one on the front axle, one on the back axle, that's powered by a 1.5-litre three-cylinder engine. It sounds cool, but how does Nissan's e-Power and e-Force all-wheel drive system work? Well, let's find out. It's worth quickly understanding what's under the bonnet of this Nissan e-Power car because Nissan's hybrid technology is very different to what you find in the Toyota. We do have a petrol engine here, like a Toyota, but this petrol engine is not connected to the wheels in any way. There's an electric motor on the front axle and the rear axle that is powered by this internal combustion engine. You put fuel in it, you start it up, it turns on, and it powers a battery and an inverter to deliver power to the electric wheels. So there you go. You have a petrol engine in this car, but it's not even attached to the wheels. How's that for something a little bit different? It makes 157 kilowatts overall, this car, but it does have a 150 kilowatt electric motor at the front and a 100 kilowatt electric motor at the back. Why does it not make 250 kilowatts, you ask, in total? Well, that's because each motor works independently and with each other, not together. That's why you've only got a combined system output of 157 kilowatts in this car. Overall, it's a really clever piece of technology and definitely makes it feel more like an EV than you think. Jumping behind the wheel of an X-Trail hybrid is no different to a regular X-Trail. The only things that do differ are a couple of switches here and this gear knob as well. The cabin is presented really well for the money. You've got this wonderful vinyl-clad dashboard with a bit of stitching, this nice faux timber trim, and excellent leather seats in this TI model. The seats, going a bit further, are electrically adjustable, have electric lumbar support, and are really comfortable for those longer road trips. Directly in front of me, I've got two screens, both 12.3 inches in display, one for infotainment, one for my gauge cluster. The infotainment screen is pretty good, to be honest. It's got a relatively modern software system that sort of works like a smartphone, wireless charging, wireless Apple CarPlay, and wired Android Auto. Overall, it's a pretty good system. In front of me here, I've got another 12.3 inch display. This one is a driver cluster. It's quite customizable. It's really legible, simple to use. And above that too is a head-up display. This car does certainly feel very upmarket for the money, but it's also a very pragmatic car too. There is heaps of storage in this cabin. I've got these massive cup holders here that do fit a big bottle. This folding armrest, which has got really big storage. Another floating console here to hide some stuff. And some really generous bottle holders and pockets in the doors too. I'm the father of a young family and I'm often carrying stuff with me when I travel with my kids, nappies, wipes, toys and all that sort of stuff. And it feels like this cabin was designed with parents in mind. If you don't have to carry a lot of things with you, there's plenty of places to hide them in here, which makes this cabin really good for a young family. Before we cover off the second row, there's one thing I want to show you, and it's this rear door here. Both sides, they open at almost 90 degrees with the car, meaning it's really easy to load children in and out of this car, or big objects for that matter. Once you're inside, however, there is heaps of space back here. I'm about 6 foot tall. This is my driving position. And as you can see, my feet can go nice and stretched out in front of me. My knees have heaps of room in front. And overall, I feel really comfortable. This seat base is quite high too, sort of like stadium seating, meaning it's easy to get in and out of, but also gives you a great vantage point in and out of the cabin. If you don't like small spaces or can feel a bit claustrophobic in a tight cabin, this is the absolute opposite of that. Really airy, really light, and really easy to see out of. In terms of other amenity back here, I've got this wonderful sunroof that opens up into the back row, allowing a lot of light in. We've got some air conditioning controls, a third zone of climate control, some air vents, a USB-C port, and another USB port, some more generous bottle holders in the doors, and also a fold-down armrest that has cup holders and a device holder too. In terms of general habitability for kids and adults, the second row of the X-Trail is almost a 10 out of 10 for me. Coming as standard on X-Trail TI models is an electric tailgate, no hands-free operation, just a button. TIL gets the hands-free operation. Underneath, however, reveals a boot space of 575 litres. That's just 10 litres less than a regular internal combustion version of the same car. That's not a bad effort from Nissan. What's the space like? Well, as you can see, it's massive. You've got this huge aperture here, which means you can load all sorts of big items, stuff from IKEA, prams, bassinets, all that nonsense. There's a good adjustable boot floor as well, meaning you can hide things underneath or increase the boot space. But one downfall is that this car does have a tyre repair kit. There is no spare wheel under there, which is a bit of a shame in my books. The first thing you notice about driving an X-Trail hybrid is the fact it'll take off silently and carry on silently for quite a fair speed. And that's because this car is not like a Toyota hybrid that has a petrol engine connected to the wheels. In this car, Nissan's e-Power hybrid, the electric motors are purely connected to the wheels and the petrol engine just acts as a generator to power it up. If you put your foot down, you can hear it turn on and provide electric power or juice to the electric motors to propel the car forward. It's quite a clever solution that gives you the best of both worlds, really. It gives you a bit of electric vehicle instant torque. If you put your foot down, it responds right away, pretty much instantly. But moreover, it's that silent operation most of the time that makes the car feel a bit more luxurious and a bit high-end. In terms of performance, this powertrain is plenty powerful for the money. It has 157 kilowatts overall, 150 kilowatt electric motor at the front and 100 kilowatt electric motor at the back, but both of them work independently of each other and with each other and not together, which means it doesn't have a combined output of 257 kilowatts, rather one of 157. Overall, the experience is quiet, feels high-end, and the e-Power hybrid definitely offers more performance than the regular internal combustion version. How's the rest of this car like to drive? Well, pretty much like the normal one, which is spot on. It has a great ride comfort, this car. It has good suspension that's tuned to give you suppleness and comfort around town, but still has some underlying firmness for out in a country road. I took this car for a bit of a burn through the Southern Highlands district of New South Wales, where the roads are quite fast, bumpy and very regional, if you understand what that means, long and twisty. But yeah, this car felt really secure and really confident through that. It didn't feel heavy, didn't feel cumbersome, and to be honest, makes the ideal partner to do a bit of country touring in as well. The e-Power pedal was quite clever in the fact that if you put your foot down, it works like a normal accelerator, but if you lift, it puts the brake lights on, puts the brakes on as well, and brings the car to a gradual stop whilst harvesting that energy and putting it back into the battery. It takes a little while to get used to, but once you do, it's hard to turn off. And another thing that's fun about it is you start to gamify how it works. You sort of lift off the pedal with a set of traffic lights, try to gauge where it will come to a stop, and it's kind of fun, to be honest. There's nothing wrong with a bit of efficiency that's got a little bit of fun with it. One of the big questions you're probably going to ask us is fuel efficiency. Now that we've come to a stop, I can quickly dip in here and have a look. So far, covering 500 Ks of driving on our testing, we've used 6.4 litres per 100 kilometres of travel. The official combined figure on this car is 6.1, meaning we're pretty much on the money. I've noticed too that if you buzz around town a bit, I've seen figures around the high fives. Out on the freeway it does pick up a bit, but if you spend your time around town doing short trips, you might actually get, dare I say, better fuel economy than the claim. That's something we'll have to test in the next coming weeks if we get enough one of these in the garage. I reckon get out there and take one for a test drive. This powertrain and driveline really surprised me, and Nissan's e-Power technology is definitely worth experiencing before you buy. So what do we think of the Nissan X-Trail hybrid? Well, as you know, the X-Trail range has been awarded Drive's Best Medium SUV award for 2023, meaning we think it's the ideal choice for empty nesters, young families, and everyone in between. What this hybrid version does, however, is make the experience even better again. It adds more power, it makes it use less fuel, and to be honest, the driving experience with this e-Power hybrid is definitely more fun and enjoyable and better to drive than the regular internal combustion engine. What I reckon is, if you're looking at an X-Trail TI or TIL, that you spend the extra money and step up to the e-Power version, it's definitely worth the extra cash. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to Drive.com.au's YouTube channel, or visit our website to read the full written review on the X-Trail hybrid. Thanks again for watching.